It's time to talk sports here on 360 Sport on Trust TV. This time around, we'll look at all the matches that will be coming up in Afcon and also looking at all the juicy stories making round in the world of sport. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Now let's look at the Afcon matches that will be coming up today over there in Cameroon. A lot of matches, Senegal against Guinea. That will be a match that a lot of people want to see because we have two Liverpool players. Senegal, Guinea, Naby Keita against Sadio Mane. Who will win this game? It's going to be a tough one. Malawi versus Zimbabwe, Morocco, Comoros, Gabon versus Ghana, Aubameyang team versus Ghana. That will be a big one there. Now joining me in this studio is Ayo Adams, joining me on analyzing this particular the story we'll be taking. Good to have you, Ayo.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Now, the big match today in Afcon is going to be between Senegal and Guinea. And if you look at Senegal and Guinea right now, we have two players. Naby Keita also play for Liverpool, Sadio Mane Liverpool. How do you see that game?
Well, a tough clash, a battle of great talents on both sides, really, really amazing talent. But Senegal had to leave it late the last game. Guinea, when they showed more credence to the game. The result we got against Cameroon Ethiopia was what I was expecting in the first Senegal game, seeing that they had all the stars and they have their own team spirit together. But I would think that Senegal should be able. But it's a big game because both 3 points, both have won their first game. So it's anyone who wins today's game goes into the next round. It's a very, very dicey game for both parties.
Are you going for Senegal?
Yeah, I'll take Senegal. Yeah, I'll take Senegal.
Okay, that's a good one. They're still looking at the fixtures now that will be coming up today in the Afcon. Well, 4 matches will be coming up. Senegal versus Guinea. You have Gabon versus Ghana. Morocco versus Comoros. That can be tongue-twisting a bit. Morocco versus Comoros. Malawi versus Zimbabwe seems to be like, okay, they know themselves in the Sekava Cup or thereabout. From Southern Africa, they are like brothers. So it's as if they are playing themselves in a friendly. They are brothers. Malawi versus Zimbabwe. But the match between Morocco and Comoros, you want to underrate Comoros because they are a small nation, but football can be very, very unpredictable. Do you see Morocco riding over Comoros?
Yeah, I just think it won't be hard. I don't think it should be hard for them.
You are so confident.
I saw them play against Ghana and they looked more prepared than Ghana. Ghana still looked like as if they were on the training ground. For the Black Stars as they are, they were.
So you see Morocco winning?
Morocco, because Morocco should just be ready to play into the next round.
Seriously?
Yes.
So what about Gabon versus Ghana? Those two teams, yes, we know that right now you can, if you think Ghana, your mind cannot pick a particular player. If you think Gabon, your mind goes to Aubameyang.
Well, they did the first game without him. I'm sure
because of
the COVID. So coming back would be a big boost for them, and they already have 3 points. But like you said, Ghana, before we knew, even if you don't know a specific player to call out, they had this team flair and spirit. There was Asamoah Gyan for them, where you know that at the end of the day, get the ball into the box 18, he would always find a way to bury it at the back of the net. But there's no vocal point there anymore who you can 100% trust, because the goal they considered against Morocco started from a build-up from the back line. And they kept looking. Morocco kept advancing out from the midfield into the right wing, into the box 18. Boom, goal. And they could have even gotten a second goal also in the similar situation. So Ghana need to just wake up and realize that we are not playing a friendly. We are in African Cup of Nations, and we
just have to wake up.
We have to wake up.
And now, if you look at the way Ghana so far have played in this tournament, although just a match, but that particular match against Morocco showed class. And you know the funniest thing, Morocco were trying to show some respect to Ghana.
And that's how the goal that Morocco scored. You could see the pause. Morocco are they going to charge or not? And you could see them they were just leaning back. They kept leaning back. The midfielders kept pulling back. I mean, you have class in that team. You have Thomas Partey in that team. You have Ayew in that team. And the brother. Inje is in that team. What exactly is going on? It's all like, we spoke about here how certain teams are looked as the favorite, and now some other teams were not looked at. Even if Ghana wasn't looked at that much, there was still always something you'd expect from the Black Stars. They'd come out. At the end of the day, the effort wasn't there. And that's what made them lose the game.
We've been looking at least previewing the match that will be coming up today in the Afcon. There are 4 matches will be coming up. That shows that today will be a busy day for Afcon lovers out there. Africans, we are celebrating our own football heritage taking place in Cameroon, Yaoundé, Garoua, all the cities, even Pulong also hosting a lot of matches. Well, as it says, let all the best team win. Hopefully Nigeria will do well tomorrow as we expect Nigeria to fight out against Sudan. We're bringing that up for you to at least enjoy when it comes to sport. 360 is the place to tune into on Trust TV to watch sport. Now, let's digress. Let's come back home. MPFL, Nigerian Professional Football League, had an issue that came up 2 days ago. Now, Heartland FC, the players went on protest. Peaceful protests concerning them not being paid for 9 or 11 months thereabout, for good 9 months, 11 months, as some claim, and some say it's 9, but 9 or 4 or 2. They have been owed for such a long time. Well, after the peaceful protests, Heartland pleaded for 2 weeks. They pleaded with, they wrote a letter to the LMC, right side, saying that, okay, requesting or pleading for 2 weeks to settle the players' salaries. Because right now, it's better. A lot of people are saying, okay, if you know you cannot afford these players, better disband the team, settle them their bill and forget them. It's not by fault that you must have a team. But I'm surprised that, okay, Heartland of Owerri, Imo State government, well, setting up this, they have Heartland Queens too. And we know what has been happening concerning all these things. But it might not be new that players are being owed money. It happens in Europe too. I remember when Benjamin Waru, Kanu Wanko were being owed by Portsmouth, but they settled the matter. But this one for 9 months, 11 months. Now they pleaded for 2 weeks to be given that chance for them to clear all the backlogs of salary they are owing these players. Hopefully it will happen.
First start with the reference you made to Portsmouth owing their players. That's dated years ago. You probably not hear something like that in 2021, 2022. It saddens me that in our own Premier League, our own players, our own national players, our own blood, because we're all related by blood, are being treated by their principles like this. And this is not the first time. Not the first, not the second. Not particularly this team, not the first team, second team, third, fourth, fifth, and not the gender. This is not even gender specific, because there was also a story, I think 2 years ago, where, I can't remember the name, with female protesting for their wages.
Okay.
Slept in the front of the governor, I think it was Rivers, I can't remember, or Cross River somewhere, slept in front of their governor's government house, pleading for their salary, wages for over years. And so there's this curtain that's been drawn upon making no reach outside. Don't let people hear this.
Especially when the press, when sport journalists come around to talk to these clubs, they don't want you to talk to the players. They make sure the players don't talk to the press, which is not supposed to be so.
It's wrong. It's football. Football, I keep, sometimes when people get into discussions about the quality of football, some say it has dropped in player quality. I say it has improved in management. It has improved in management, technology and certain things, and media optics. If you put the players out there more and more, they gain more confidence. Some people would say, we analysts are, and presenters and sports lovers around the world, people would say, oh, a lot of people don't know the MPFL players. They've not been put out there. There are information that we knew about players in Europe that because they were put out there. Yes. You put this information out there, allow journalists to interview these players. Now back to the wages. In the second tier of the Premier League, they earn close to $1 million monthly. Unlike here, where they're not even earning up to 200,000 or 300,000 monthly.
That's the second tier.
That's the second tier, and it's still not consistent. And money is the biggest motivation to a lot of things. In the Premier League, they pay them on Thursday before they play their games on Saturday. It was a rule that was declared a couple of years back. Now you have players who now even earn ridiculous wages for even things such as set pieces. We are now coming back to, it's 2021, in our own Premier League, the pinnacle of our footballing structure. And this is still in 2021. Players are going out with cardboards protesting for wages for 9 months. It is unfair. And these boys will go onto the pitch, they give it their all, they try their best, bruises, punches, kicks, and they go back home to recover. If you're not paying them salaries of these amounts, please, what about the facilities? What about their media optics? Some of these players will go down in history and their names will not even be heard.
If you go online, you may not. You won't find most of these players. Most of them don't have where you can easily access them. Well, we're happy that at least it's getting better now that the MPFL media officers are doing their job. They're trying to project. That goes to the ladies too. They're trying their, but we need to do more so that all this can be done. And all these players are being old. I still wonder how they survive for 9 months.
Now, you see, players, one thing you have to come to realize is that for you to become something in football, you'd have to go through a tough period. So athletes are not crybabies. Athletes are people who are strong, they are determined, they are mentally focused. I mean, for you to be able to keep that information under lock and key for 9 months, but I'm not surprised. Even the Super Eagles were old. They're still being owed certain bonuses.
The Tigers also.
I'm telling you, the Tigers had to protest. They had to protest. After winning back-to-back championship, you have to protest in your own country to get what you deserve for a competition that you went to represent there is no bigger one, and you won. There is nobody who should be showered money more than those who came in, bringing in trophies and credence and success back to the nation, which has been eluding us in sporting activities for a long time. Now, we now go back to the drawing board and ask ourselves that, why are we not being rated? This is why we are not being rated. We are not being rated because we treat the management of the people are not being properly groomed. They're not being, it's not clean. This is money. If you sit down, I like when you spoke about they're not being accessible. I mean, if you go online now, you can find any football player. As long as you sign to a league who is verified with UEFA and FIFA and other governing competitions, you get verified. The verification simply shows that you are acknowledged, and any content or information that comes from you is a fact. It's accurate. Well, depends on what people try to do with their platforms. David Beckham, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, they even earn money from being athletes on the internet. But then you've denied these people access to local journalism, local optics, media and branding. And media and branding plays a lot of role in the development of football right now. Some of these players should have been out there. I mean, even now, how do players, if you look at the European players, when they lose a game, some of them public, I'm not a fan of that, of people coming to ride a pistol and apologizing to their team. Yeah, it's courtesy, right? But for me, I feel like leave it on the pitch. Leave it on the pitch, right? But because when they do this, we sympathize. No to racism. Black Lives Matter, that the players were standing there, taking the knee, and all other acts that they've been doing just to keep these things off the benchmark. It's because media was involved. It's because people felt the need to talk about it.
And they know they
had to push it. There's an ad where you see people, all of them say the word together. We are in this together to kick it all out. Because it got to a point where they felt, nah, this is enough. When would we get to that point? Now, that them protesting. When would we get to a point where everyone will come together and say, look, guys, this is enough. Yes, the umbrella can't cover every aspect, but when it comes to athleticism, when it comes to players giving their blood and sweat for you to represent a color or a badge or a jersey or an outfit, whatever, you should not be denied access to your winnings. You should not be denied access to your funding. You should not be denied access to certain entitlements. If you're owing them salaries, then what about bonuses? Because there are player bonuses that exist. What about bonuses? What about advertisement? How are they even putting them out there for them to brand? Look at young players around the world. They are ambassadors for brands. At a very young age, look at Neymar Jr. At a very young age, he's packed into light from his hometown, and boom, into Barcelona. That's what took them to the levels that they are now.
And the media has been able to push. In fact, if you even obscure leagues that you don't expect, you find them on internet. It's high time we need to work on our issue here concerning the way we manage our football or any other sport. Administrators, whatever you are given the chance to administer on these players or any sport out there, please do a thorough job. Pay athletes as at when due. Don't let their sweat dry before you settle them, because it's not easy at all. So sweat it out every day, every minute, and the next thing is you can't get paid because of what? Just because you are an athlete. We are advocating for athletes' welfare on the show. We've been talking concerning MPFL, where Heartland demanded, they made a protest, a peaceful protest over there in Owerri, asking for their salaries. And now the news reaching out is that Heartland are pleading, but they actually pleaded with the MPFL organizers, LMC management, that 2 weeks they will clear it up. Well, we're waiting. We'll still be waiting to see what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. If this is not done, we continue to dig deeper concerning this. Until things change, we just have to play our role individually as pressmen who are really doing their job to make sure everything goes well in the world of sport. We keep pushing. I remember the issue of the Tigress, when that issue came up, because of the push from different media houses, print, media, online, everywhere, the news was becoming too, and I'm sure they don't want it to get to where they will be called. Something has to be done.
I mean, I would use a word of my boss. She says, the journalists, we are the gateway. We are the gateway to the politics, the democracy. We open the doors for people to see. I like how the media and the press went after
that scenario.
That particular scenario. And one thing that actually influenced that protest from the Tigers is because a bulk of their players are not home-groomed.
So they have the confidence.
Yeah, exactly. So the homegrown players, look at Heartland, 9 months. And it's because it hit the internet. It's because it hit the internet.
You would have
heard about it. The moment the Tigers saw that their wages have not been paid, their rights have not been given to them when due, these amazing women just set up a protest, online protest, and they did it. And they put out their voices. And it's the media age. Things trend really fast, especially things that are very vital, especially things that are pertaining to athletes, most especially things that are pertaining to our women, because they gave it their all, and then they came back, and then you deny them that nobody's going to let that slide. And I was glad that even the minister had to react like immediately. Something has to be done, and I'm glad that was made clear of, and they got their right back to them.
Good one there. We've just been talking concerning Heartland, a case issue of being owed salary. Now let's move away from Heartland. Let's talk about English Premier League. A match will be coming up today between Crystal Palace and also Brighton. That match is expected to be a win-win for the two teams. Who do you support here? Quickly, our time is going.
I'm going to lean towards Patrick Vieira. Because of his African and because he's and because of how he's one in a million. It's been a long time. It's been overdue to have seen a black African coach come into the Premier League and showcase himself. But Graham Potter is doing that. I think Graham Potter is too big for Brighton. That is where I will leave it.
Okay, now we're hoping that the best team win. Now let's go to Bundesliga quickly. A match will also be coming up there. Borussia Dortmund will be playing against Freiburg. Looking at the match that will be coming up there. Well, Borussia Dortmund, Freiburg, your take.
Dortmund.
Quickly. Dortmund. Why Dortmund?
I think they need to capitalize on the loss of Bayern Munich. Capitalize. That's to be able to catch Bayern is Bayern one way or the other will slip up, maybe once or twice. Those moments, you don't have to follow them suit and slip up. If they want to contest for the Bundesliga this season, which almost seems like Lala in Dreamland, but they have to win that game to keep the pressure on Borussia and on Bayern. And
now let's go to France as we look at just another match that will be coming up between OGC Nice. They'll be playing against Nantes there. Looking at the match that will be coming up, Nice will be facing Nantes. We have the team of, Simon is in Afcon, but team will be playing against OGC Nice. Who do you support here? Both of them are NN anyway.
No, I think I used to like Nice when they had, I think it was Jean-Michel Seri. And then I think when they had Jean-Michel Seri, when Barcelona wanted to go for him at the time, I was always paying attention. Let me see where
maybe they will get him or not.
Yeah.
So you go for OG series,
Yeah, I'll go
right?
for OG series.
Well, that's football. We've been reviewing the preview, rather. The matches that will be coming up today in the EPL, Bundesliga, and also French Ligue 1. Not forgetting the Afcon. Afcon is still the dominating force of sporting stories across the whole globe right now, even though they didn't want it to hold, but it's holding. To the amazement of the whole world, is really holding. And I love the fact that Cameroon has been able to prove to them, or to people, to the whole world, that the issue of COVID, they were thinking by now 100 people have been contracting that dreaded
Omicron.
So, but it's not happening.
Yeah, last time here I said Afcon must go on, whether they like it or not. There are certain scenarios where you just have to surge through, regardless of whatever the noise, block out the noise. Let's create our own spectacle here, which we've been doing. Well, amidst of all the controversies, it's a football game. It's built on controversy. It excels on the news around it. So yeah, I mean, we love to see it.
Before we go, just one word. I just want one. Nigeria and Sudan tomorrow. Just one.
Eagles, 3 points.
3 points.
Yes.
I love that. Coming from Ayo Adams, he has been with us on the show 360 Sport, where we've been talking on the issues in the world of sport. Good to have you, Ayo, once again.
Always a pleasure.
Good one. We've been talking concerning lots of sporting stories. That will be it for this hour. We just want to appreciate you for watching us. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Once again, thanks for watching.